Let's say that we have something else like 36x squared plus 24x plus 4. And I told you to factor this. Unlike the last problem, we need to look for, because this one has it, we absolutely need to find that this one has it. So in this particular problem, the GCF is the biggest number that goes into all of these. In this case, I think it's going to be 4. So we need to pull out a 4 before, we begin our problem. 36 divided by 4 makes 9. I can divide 9x squared plus 24 divided by 4 makes 6x, and 4 divided by 4 makes a 1. Now you can use guess and check or the book way. I'm going to do both ways. You can fast forward through whichever one you don't like, or you can watch both if you're still kind of trying to see which one you like. No matter what, we have to do A, B, C. This is going to be the book way. And for the first step for the book way, you do 9 times a positive 1. Well, because that's A times C. A times C makes 9. So I make my little chart. And I know I need to get a positive 9. So over here, we're going to do the factors. And over here, I need to do the sum. And I need to get that magic number 6 that was there in the middle. Well, that's not too hard, is it, guys? You know 3 and 3 multiply to 9. And I would hope that you kind of know 3 and 3 add to 6. So that one probably wasn't too hard using the book way to get. But now for the book way, we're going to have to rewrite this thing. We keep our 4. Alright, and we keep the 9x squared. But this time, instead of writing plus 6x, we write plus 3x plus 3x. And then we write the plus 1. So we took away the 6x and we made it 3 and 3. Now I'm going to move over here because, yeah, I am running out of room. I keep the 4. And now I'm going to kind of visually break off the first two, 9x squared and 3x, and then the second two, 3x and 1. So keep the 4, and keep the parentheses, from the 9x squared and the 3x, I am able to pull out a 3x, and I will be left with 9x squared divided by 3x makes 3x, and 3x divided by 3x makes a plus 1. Right here, I will pull out a plus 1 because that's the only thing these two things have in common. And I will be left with 3x plus 1. The last step, using the book way, is to pull out this 3x plus 1. And when you pull out the 3x plus 1, you are noticing, I hope, that you're left with, look at that, another 3x plus 1. Just the luck of the draw. You can write this as 4 times. Let me rewrite this. You can make this 4 and then 3x plus 1 squared. Honestly, I'm perfectly happy with either one as an answer. Now, if you wanted to do guess and check, I will do guess and check here on the side. That way you can see it. You don't have to do guess and check. So you get 36x squared plus 24x plus 4. You still do the same first step. You pull out your GCF of 4, just like you did even the book way. 9x squared plus 6x plus 1. And now you break apart 9 and 1. Maybe you guess it right away that it's 3x and 3x and 1 and 1. Or maybe you don't and you think it's 9x and 1x and 1 and 1. No matter what, you know you're going to have a double set of parentheses with the 4 on the outside. Let's say you wanted to try 3x and 3x right away, and you know 1 and 1, because those are the only things that multiply to 1. You need that magic number 6 up here. So we're going to make them both a positive and watch what happens. Here and here we get 3. Here and here we get, I should say 3x, we get another 3x. We know that's correct because we get that middle term, the magic middle term of 6x. I don't care if you use guess and check. I don't care if you use the book way. All that I care about is that you know how to factor. in 4-5, it's very, very, very similar, except it's solving. Okay? That's really the only difference in 4-4 and 4-5 is you still have to do all the factoring, but now you're solving. Hey, make sure you set it equal to 0. That's something you should say all the time. When you have an x squared, set it equal to 0, set it equal to 0, set it equal to 0. So let's say you have 2x squared plus x equals 15, and you need to figure out what x should be. First step, bring that 15 over. Now if you're ever confused, like, okay, which one should I bring to what side? You want to keep x squared positive. I don't care if you use the book way, I don't care if you use guess and check. I'll do it both. You can fast forward through whichever way you don't want to use. Okay? So the book way, you label A, B, and C. You do A times C, so you do 2 times negative 15 and get negative 30. Oh, notice please there is no GCF. That's why I didn't pull out a GCF. So now I need to do the factors of negative 30. And I need to do the sum. And the sum needs to be this magic number in here, a 1. Factors of 30 are 6 and 5. Since I need a positive 1, I'm going to make it a positive 6 and a negative 5. That'll work, because 6 and negative 5 makes a 1 that I need. You guys have got to be good at your multiplication if you want to be able to go that fast. Otherwise, you might be sitting here guessing 15 and 2 or 30 and 1. Okay? So I rewrite it, 2x squared plus 1x. Oh, not plus 1x. I just made the mistake, didn't I? For the book way, you don't keep the middle term. You change the middle term to what you just found. Plus 6x minus 5x. There you go. And then you have to keep the last number, this minus 15 right here. You have to keep C. Then you kind of group and group. The first two I can pull out a 2 and an x. I will be left with x plus 3. I divided out a 2 and an x. And the next ones I pull out a minus and a 5, because that's what goes into both of them. A negative 5 pulled out of that is an x, and a negative 5 pulled out of that is another positive 3. Look at that, my parentheses match. I pull out an x plus 3, and I leave a 2x minus 5. Okay guys, here's the new step in 4-5. Because we have it set equal to 0, you must set each parenthesis equal to 0 and solve to get an answer. So I get x plus 3 equals 0, minus 3 minus 3, x is negative 3. I add 5 to x equals 5. I divide by 2, and x is 5 over 2. And that is, wow, that's really messy. There you go, 5 over 2. And those are your answers. Yeah, it's a little better, huh? Okay, if you don't like the book way, there's always guess and check. If you don't want to do guess and check, then don't listen. You have 2x squared. You have a plus x and a minus 15. You should always set it equal to 0, so I'm just going there right away. And I know 2x squared breaks down to 2x and 1x. 15 could be 5 and 3 or 15 and 1. And here's what guess and check does. Double parentheses. You know 2x and 1x are your only choices, so it's kind of helpful. You can try 5 and 3 or 15 and 1. I'm just going to try 5 and 3. These together make 5x. These outside ones together make 6x. I need to get a magic positive 1. So if I need the 6 to be positive and the 5 to be negative, I need a negative by the 5 and a positive by the 3. And that will ensure me that I get the positive 1x that I need from way up top. And this is still set equal to 0. And I would then have the next step is the same as it was in the book way. You take each parenthesis, you set each parenthesis equal to 0, and you solve like you would in a basic Algebra 1 class. Add 5, divide by 2, and in the next one subtract 3, and x is negative 3. I don't really care book way or guess and check, just get it right. Okay? We're going to try one more way. Ignore the title on there, it's useless. Just grab some scrap paper. Let's say that we have 6x squared plus 1x. Oh, you know what? Yeah, let's make it equal to 15 again. Why not? I don't know, maybe yours is already set equal to 0. Maybe I was nice on your notes, but pretend I didn't. No matter what way you choose to do this, you must pull the 15 over and set it equal to 0. If you like the book way, this is the last example we're doing, I think. It's probably not, I don't know. If you like the book way, you will multiply 6 and negative 15, and you will get a very large, obnoxious number of negative 90. So you make your t-chart, and you have to do factors of negative 90. Whew. And these factors have to add to this magic number up here, 1. So, I don't know, 90 is made up of 3 and 30. But 3 and 30 will never ever add to 1, so I'm not even going to bother. 90 is made up of 2 times 45. Well, 2 times 45, that's never going to add to 1, so I better start some more basic ones, huh? 90 is made up of 9 and 10, and I need it to be 1. So if I do positive 10 and negative 9, that'll give me negative 90. And negative 9 and 10 will give me that magic number 1. So I can do 6x squared plus 1x. No, not plus 1x. You take that away. Habit. You don't put 1x there, my bad. You switch it with your minus 9 and your positive 10. That's a minus 9. It's hard to read. I didn't erase very well. And then you keep your minus 15 equals 0. And then you group, and you group, and then you see what you can pull out, okay? On this one, you can pull out a 3 and an x, and you'll be left with 2x minus 3. Over here, you pull out a positive 5, and you're going to also be left with an x minus 3. Notice, I'm sorry, you're going to be left with a 2x minus 3, because 10 divided by 5 is 2. Notice you should be able to pull out a 2x minus 3 now, and you should be left with a 3x plus a 5. You set each individual one equal to 0, and you solve. Add 3, so 2x equals 3. Divide by 2, x equals 3 over 2. On this one, subtract 5, 3x equals negative 5. Divide by 3, x equals negative 5 over 3. If you choose to do guess and check, you just have to make sure that you get it down to this. I'm not going to do guess and check, so I'm not going to waste the time. Maybe I want to do one more problem with you. I'm hoping it's on your paper. Ready? One more problem. And I will get, here's your problem. 6x squared equals 11x plus 35. I'm hoping that's on your paper that I gave you. Set it equal to 0. So we have got to pull over that 11. It's got to become a minus. And we have to pull over the 35, and it also needs to become a minus. Alright. I will do the book way. And then if you're doing guess and check, why don't you sit there while I'm yapping? Why don't you sit there and try to get guess and check to work? Okay? The book way, you will do a times c. So you will do 6 times negative 35. Let's see, that's going to be negative 180 and 30. Negative 210, I do believe, when you multiply them. So ready? We make our little chart that you saw. You get factors of negative 210. And those factors need to add to this negative 11. Okay? So factors of 210, oh geez. Well, we could do like 2 and 105, but that's not going to work. We could do 5 times something maybe. 5 times, I don't know, 42, I think. Alright, 5 times 42. Yeah, 5 times 42 or negative 42, because I got to get negative 210. That's not going to give me 11, though. We could do 210 divided by 15, maybe. 15 and 14? How about like a negative 15 and a positive 14? Well, that's not going to give me 11, so that's not right. How about I cheat and I look at my answer key, and we use 10 and 21. Okay? Why don't we pick, we need to be a negative 11. So why don't we use negative 21 and a positive 10? Because negative 21 and a positive 10 makes that magic negative 11 that we need. And now we rewrite 6x squared. And then you rewrite, look, I didn't have to erase it this time, I remembered. Minus 21x plus 10x. And what's the last number up there? Minus 35 equals 0. Group, 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 group. Pull out what you can. In this case, it's a 3x on this one. And you're going to be left with 2x minus 7. And over here, you can pull out a 5 because you have 10 and 35. So you can pull out a positive 5. And you're going to be left with 2x minus 7. And then you can pull out that 2x minus 7. And those of you who are doing guess and check, this is what you should have. 3x plus 5. And guess and check people, listen to me, guess and check people, that's because this is negative 21. This is positive 10, which gives you that magic negative 11. Everyone should be on the same page now and have it factored. You set each one equal to 0. No matter what method you choose, you better end up here with your factoring. P.S. Don't forget to take out a GCF at the beginning if you needed to. You didn't need to on this one, but let's say you did. Add the 7, 2x equals 7. Divide by the 2, x equals 7 over 2. Subtract the 5, 3x equals negative 5. Divide by the 3, x is negative 5 over 3. So there you go. I hope you can see the difference between 4-4 and 4-5. 4-4, the only thing we had to do was factor them. And then in 4-5, the only thing extra I made you do was solve them. You still had to go through the process of factoring. Alright, I hope that was a nice little crash course for you in factoring and remembering some of your Algebra 1 skills.